It's Wednesday night, y'all.
And we made it
Come on
back.
up. Come on. Come say hello to everyone. Sayla would like to do her hello, 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 hello.
She's got her ear flipped backwards.
Let's not tell anybody that she actually came for the treat and not to say hello.
Oh, she came for both. There's no way she didn't come to say hi.
Oh, it's nice to see you, Sayla. We'll put you back down here. So we've got some new technology going on today, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's in good shape. It was too funny last week when we did the show opening that we were silent for a while.
Yes. That was like shades of our very first show.
It was. Just when you get confident, I think, I can't make that mistake. I know how. And I did. That was crazy. So we're going to talk about employment facts, surprising, fun employment facts, sort of a lighthearted look at employment. But we want to talk about our work center, our Lifework.
Lifework for all.
Lifework Center. Mm-hmm. And come on up, Sayla. You want some more here? Sayla's looking for treats, so she gets them. And hello, Ruth. And I have noticed, Ida, I want to try to double down with you. Sometimes when I'm talking, you put comments up, and I don't see them.
Okay.
So I don't respond to them, but they're worth responding to.
Okay.
So when you put a comment up, I'd like for you to maybe force that comment into the conversation.
I do try to do that, but I'll try harder. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm long-winded. So sometimes I'm talking for a little while here. One last treat, and then you're done. Get out of here. Get out of here. So so let's get right into the big show.
Well, Rob's saying that he's looking into a live link on our website, so maybe that would help people find us too. I don't know.
Yeah, Rob was telling me that they have a live link on their website for their church thing, and we've looked into it. We know that it's possible to put a live link up, and we just haven't done it technically. But the nice thing about that is then you just go to one page on our website. You don't have to look for it on Facebook. You don't have to be a Facebook user. You can just go
there and
look at it.
But do comments come up if you're there?
You can set it up so that you can do YouTube comments.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be great then.
But our YouTube is our comments right now aren't working on YouTube even, so we have a lot of technical work to get that working. But we got to get into the show.
That's right. Okay.
So what we want to do is we want to talk about work. We want to talk about employment, which doesn't seem like a fun topic, And so I want to start off by just saying this. Employment is not such a bad thing. We think of work. Lots of times when you say work, you think, oh, that's the thing I'd like to avoid. But there's work involved in some very positive things that we do too.
Right.
So when you're creating, when you're cultivating and creating something, that's a fun kind of work.
It is a fun kind of work.
There are certain types of work that are really good times. So
I think each of us enjoys different types of work too. I mean, everybody has their own thing that gives them pleasure, it gives them purpose. So
yeah. Okay. So anyway, so let's take a look at work. And my slides are a little bit mixed up here. I don't even know where I have a slide of us and all of this, so I'll just cut back and forth, I guess. But so here's interesting employment fact number one. Okay. Interesting employment fact number one: of job seekers conducting their job search online, what % did so while in the restroom? That's the question that I have for you. What % do you think do job searches when they're in the restroom? We aren't going to spend a lot of time. What do you all think at home? You think it's 20%? You think it's 2%? You think it's 80%? What percent? Well, maybe just use yourself as an example. When have you looked for a job from the restroom? Is that a
I can't say that I ever have, but
So Rob says you should just interrupt me when I'm going on and on like that.
And I usually do.
Yeah. So I don't have any trouble interrupting you. You should interrupt me.
I would say
I'm just gonna give you the answer.
Okay, give us the answer.
The answer to this question is actually 7%. 7% of people do some job searching from the restroom.
I see.
So, which that accounts for 3% unemployment. If it weren't for that 7%, unemployment rate would be much higher.
We need to check our Wi-Fi connection in our bathrooms.
That's it exactly. Okay, I found the setup here. So let me try to just move.
Okay.
I think I can use this if I get the right shot in there.
It would help if you had your glasses.
How about that? Yeah, there.
Yeah.
So now I can look at things a little bit better.
Okay.
At least I think I can. All right, next of the 10 facts, we're going to go through 10 facts.
Okay.
Interesting employment fact number 2. What percent of people who quit their jobs cite lack of appreciation as their primary reason for leaving?
Oh, I'm going to say that's a huge percentage.
You think it is?
Yeah, I do. I think it's like 80%.
I can tell you it's actually the number one reason.
I believe
it's
it.
The number one. A lot of managers. There's an interesting fact. I hope I'm not spoiling this, but there's more than 80% of managers think that people quit because they don't make enough money.
Yeah.
Right? But it's actually not true. What's actually true is that 79% of people, I just have things a little mixed up here, that 79% of people who quit their job cite lack of appreciation. So it's actually the manager's fault.
Yeah. The manager's blaming it on money, and it's not money.
It's the
the manager.
It's the manager that's messed up. That's the last thing I got for you, Seal. All right. So what do you think of that? 79%. That's a big number, isn't it? All right. Interesting employment fact number 3. The average length of an interview is 40 minutes. 33% of 2,000 surveyed bosses indicate they know within the first blank if they will hire that candidate. No, I don't have any more for you.
Oh.
She's sniffing around.
I'm going to say 15 minutes.
15 minutes of the 40 they think they know right away.
Maybe even less. Maybe even like 10 minutes.
Well, here's the answer. It's going to shock you.
Okay, what is it? 90 seconds?
The answer is right away. They make a snap decision, which is really a problem with people with disabilities because I had this conversation with a guy in a work center, and he uses a wheelchair, and he said, "Man, I can't tell you how many times I roll in the wheelchair and I know that the interview is already over. The second that they've
made
come
a
through the
decision
door,
on the wheelchair?
that they've already decided that
That's
they're not going to be interested in me." And I don't doubt him. I mean, it's not like it's.
Well, if people make a decision, what percentage makes the decision within 90 seconds? 33%.
33% of the people know in the first 90 seconds. So that's so like they make decisions based on like if you're dressed too fashionably, if you're like if instead of just conservative dress, if you look a little too like edgy, they'll make the decision based on that 90 seconds right there. Crazy. You got to watch out.
Yeah.
All right. What percent of employees are considering a new job? What percent of people who are employed today do you think are actually considering a new job?
I would say
most of I've been happy with most of the jobs that I've had. I've liked my job, but I don't think most people are happy. I don't know whether it's a majority of people are happy with their jobs. Are you happy with your job? I'm interested in what the percentage of our listening audience. If you're working, right, or if you're whatever you're doing, whatever your vocation is, even if it's not paid employment, whatever you do, are you happy doing it? That's my question for you. We'll do a little quick survey right here.
Okay.
So what do you think?
I think 50% of people are looking for or would like a new job, considering a new job. They're maybe not actually out there looking, but they're considering a new job.
Yep. You're close.
What is it?
The answer is 51% of employees are considering a new job. So again, if you're a company, you need to be working. This is like why companies have struggles, because they don't realize that that all these things are going on. So
John said 50%. Mary Lou said 75%.
Yeah. So 51% is the answer on that one. So let's keep rolling. We've got 10 facts to get through. So interesting employment fact number 5. What percent of jobs are gained through networking?
Oh.
Through networking. So the classic thing when somebody wants a job, right? We teach them how to interview. We teach them how to write a good resume. We teach them all these different things. What percentage of people do you think get jobs? Not that way, but just through a network of friends, of people they know, or
I'm not sure the percentage, but I think it's a large percentage because it's, they say it's not what you know, but who you know. I think social capital does play a big role in job finding.
It's been one of our things, isn't it? Social
Right.
capital, and trying to figure out how we can raise the social capital of people affected by disability, because we think it's such a big thing. So I shouldn't hold out on you. I should give you the answer as quickly as I can. The percentage is actually 80. Yeah,
John
says 85, so it really is up there. I'll never forget, I've told this story, I think, even on the air before, but when I was first married, Linda and I went to this conference about employment. I'm not sure why we were at an employment conference, but it was called Career Works, I think. Career Works. Yeah, and I still have the manual from it. I still consult it every once in a while. So it's 40 years old or whatever. But but what they did was it was in like a big Hyatt hotel, like a Grand Hyatt ballroom, and there were probably 500-600, maybe more people in this room, all lined up in seats, listening to these people talk. And so they said, hey, we're just going to do an exercise. And they visualized this. They had everybody stand up, and they said, okay, everybody who got a job by applying to an ad in the newspaper, we would like for you to sit down. Sprinkling people sat down. Everyone who got a job through a headhunter, sit down. Sprinkling of people sat down. Everyone who got a job by going to a job fair. Everyone who, and they went through basically a list of things, and almost everyone was still standing up in the room. Something like 80% of the people, right? But it was more than that. It seemed like it was more like 85 or 90% of the people. And they said, now you all have learned the lesson. You already know. How did you people all get your job? And it was, I knew somebody. It was a friend of a friend, or some, and that's how I got my first job. A person that I didn't really know. It was a family friend, Patty Ostrowski.
Good old Patty.
Yeah, she was like her parents were friends with my parents. We knew each other, but she had a job down in Washington, D.C. and heard that I was a technology. I don't even know how she heard I was a technology person, like it was that distant. But she called me and said, hey, I have a job you might be, you might want to apply for. 80%.
That's a big percentage.
All right, let's keep rolling.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What percent of U.S. employers allow employees to take naps?
Let me take a wild
during
guess.
Work hours.
Is it 1?
Did you know that? Did you know that 1%?
I really didn't know till you had it highlighted in
1%
red.
of U.S. employers allow employees to take naps. Now they're all kindergarten teachers.
No.
I'm for this. I think we should implement this at Uniquely the Same. We should be in that 1%. Why do we want to be in the 99%?
Okay, all of our employees can take a nap.
In fact, Ida, there have been a couple of Wednesdays where we've said we're too tired for the show, and we've gone home.
I'm going home. I'm taking a nap. I'll be back.
So we're in the 1%.
That's right. Mary Lou, you are so astute. Yes, 1%.
So it looks like my second slide. See, had the blank in it. So.
It's all right, Cal.
All right, we're gonna keep.
We appreciate your effort.
We'll keep rolling on here. Women business owners. I think this is a fun one.
Okay.
Women business owners employ what % more people than all the Fortune 500 companies combined? That's a hard one to guess. But it's just interesting that it's a bigger number at all.
Yeah.
Right? Women. So I'm telling you right now, women business owners, which you don't think there's that many women-owned businesses, right?
Yeah.
And they're being encouraged. I know some people who are starting them. There's some advantages to starting women-owned businesses. You can always use your lunch break to take a nap. Yeah, but you have to have a cot. You have to have. You have to have facilities for this, like a nap room.
I've seen on television you could you can crawl under your desk, put an alarm clock under there, and
I saw that on Seinfeld. George built a whole house underneath his desk.
That's what we could do.
In the Yankees, and he would go under there and sleep all day. And then he'd set his alarm.
Slept all day?
Yeah, he'd set his alarm for 4:59.
Oh, I thought it was for a nap.
It was a nap, but it was all day.
Well, women business owners, I'm going to say, I don't know.
Well, the answer is 35%.
Oh.
So if you take all the people employed by Fortune 500 companies, which you'd think is a big number, this is the point that small businesses are the big are the big nut that we want to try to crack.
Right.
That women businesses, which is even just a percentage of the small businesses, are employing a lot of people. So wouldn't it be cool if we could come up with a way of employing people through women-owned?
Absolutely, I think
businesses.
that'd be great.
Yeah, so we should
need to start working on that network.
Something to appeal for. That's fact number 7. Here's surprising fact number 8. On average, recruiters will spend as little as how many seconds looking at your resume? With what percentage of resumes discarded for having an unprofessional email address?
This is why I changed my email address on my resume, because because I had an attitude about it when I was looking at resumes too, when it said yahoo.com or
Yahoo. What kind of Yahoos?
AOL.com
or Hotmail.
Hotmail, yes.
Yeah, if you got the wrong name on Hotmail, like Cutie Pie on Hotmail.
Yeah, that's not good. So I changed mine because I felt like I had a sort of a prejudice against those unprofessional email addresses. I'm going to say, it's as little as seconds, so it's not even minutes.
Yeah.
So let's say...
How many seconds do you think they spent?
90?
Yep. So here we go. No, it's just 5 to 7 seconds.
Oh my goodness. 5 to 7 seconds.
Just 5 to 7 seconds a recruiter looks at your resume, and 76 of the resumes are just thrown out, just like that.
If you have cutie pie.
Just because of very minor things. That's why, you spend all this time like wordsmithing and all that kind of stuff. Just get rid of the lousy email address that you're using.
I agree.
That's number 8. 60 seconds. Pretty good guess, Mary Lou,
yes.
But it's only 5. It's much less than 60. Well, they give you 1/10 of what you would expect even in your worst nightmare. All right, here we go. Each corporate job opening will attract how many resumes on average? So there's a corporate job opening. Mm-hmm. How many resumes does Dell Computers get? We were at Dell, right? When we saw Dell Computers out at the whatever that conference was on employment, disability and employment. I forget what it was called, but so Dell Computers was out there. Mm-hmm. And from those applications, only what percent will be invited to an interview, and only one candidate will be offered the job?
I'm sure it's a very small percent that get invited to an interview.
Yeah, how many resumes do you think show up?
I don't know.
I'm going to give you the answer.
Okay.
The answer is 250 resumes on average for every job opening. So that's a sobering. Like, you apply for a job, you have to differentiate yourself from 250 other people.
Right. And in five seconds.
Right. Now the good news is you only have to differentiate yourself from like 50 or 60 of them, because four people get the interview.
Oh, I see.
And then in the interview, you just have to get over those other. So if you're better than 40 or 50 people, so you have to like that's a pretty big task. No wonder it's hard to get a job.
Mary Lou says hundreds of resumes and 10%.
Yeah. So only 4 to 6 people get invited, and you sort of, that makes sense. Just a few people.
Again, social capital. We need it.
Yeah, it's a good message. That's what we're going to talk. We're going to talk more about our employment ideas. So here's interesting fact number 10, which is our last one.
Number 10.
No piece of normal sized paper can be folded in half more than how many times? This is an important employment thing. Here, take a piece of paper.
Why is this an important?
Take a piece of paper and fold it in half.
Okay.
Here you go. You want a piece of paper?
Here's a piece of paper.
You have one to fold?
I'm folding it in.
All right, everybody take a piece of paper. You fold it, all right? Okay, I'm going to fold it. Here we go.
One.
Okay, here's one. I'm going to get more than you do, no matter what. Here's 1. 2. All right, you can do this too. Just grab a piece of paper, any piece of paper, because that's the question. That's 2. 3. How many times do you think you're going to get it? Like 20? 4.
5.
It's getting harder, actually.
I could do
5. 6.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Okay, I've got 6. But that's it. There's no 7.
I can barely get the 7th.
John says 9.
Yep.
Well,
the answer is actually 7. No matter how size, no piece of normal size paper could be folded in half more than 7 times. So let's see, John. Let's see you get to 9.
Really? Show us 9. We better be nice to John. John goes and gets our drone out of the tree.
He's our
for
drone
us.
retriever. That, John, I don't know if you were here last week, but when we reviewed the show, somebody said that was their favorite. That was their favorite memory. Was when you retrieved with your apple picker.
That's right. That was a great day that somebody was able to get that out.
It made us happy.
Yes.
So 10. So those are our 10 surprising facts.
Those are good ones. That's really eye-opening. Really.
So one of the things that we wanted to do, though, is we wanted to talk about our Lifework Center, which maybe you haven't heard this term, Lifework Center, but this is uniquely the same 2020.
It's our 2020
It's going to be like
vision.
our big thing.
Yep.
We've been talking about when we first started to meet as uniquely the same, we started talking about a village, putting in place a village, and we learned that a village has its drawbacks. First of all, a lot of people don't want to just go off to some village somewhere. They want to live where they live now.
Right.
And there's issues of isolation, so people don't want to be taken out of the mainstream. They want to be in with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And so the idea of a village, while we still want to pursue living and some of the concepts behind that, what we have learned in our 5 years of existence is that the most significant issue that is not well covered right now, that people have the most struggle with, is employment. And bigger than employment, bigger than just getting a job, is the whole idea of career and your place in the world, your value, what you're actually about, what you're maybe calling.
Yeah, I think that's a good word.
Your calling as a person, what you're meant to be and meant to do. So we've figured out that's a big and when you have that, when you know your calling, when you're in a place where you're confident you're supposed to be, then you have there's satisfaction that comes with that. There's this sense of value. There's participation. You're actually contributing. Mm-hmm. There's happiness. There's a number of things that go along with that. So
another big thing is with belonging in an organization. When you find that place that's right for you, then you truly do feel like you belong, and then loneliness is eradicated too. So that's another thing we've been concerned about is loneliness as well. So
we want to pursue that. We want to pursue this idea of so we call it life work. What's your life work? Not what's your job or but what is in your life? What is your life work? What are you about? What's your purpose? And that changes over time. That's not something that you just say, oh, well, because my life work today might be something. When I first started, my life work was computer stuff. I did a lot of computer and technology stuff. And now I'm doing like disability stuff. And I'm convinced this is life work, but I couldn't have even imagined doing this. Yeah. I had no background or experience or knowledge, or didn't even know there were issues here way back when. So anyway, it moves as you go through. So that's part of our career center as well as of this Lifework Center, is that it's not just something that you identify and then you're done.
Right. It's not just like, okay, I found a job, check and done.
Yeah.
It's something. It's a place where you can actually use the gifts that God gave you, and you enjoy it and you feel like it's the right place for you. So more than just finding a job. And
guess what? Life work is found in relationship. It's found in community, right? Because it's a process. It's a life process. And so life work needs to be done with family. It needs to be done with friends. It needs to be done with church. It needs to be done with in your community as a participant. And you're participating in the life work of other people, and they're participating with you, and you're helping each other grow. And so that's sort of our idea. So we actually have 10 principles that we've identified that we think are unique to a Lifework Center.
I'm ready.
So I don't have them off the top of my head. We had to write them down to know them. But we're going to talk to you about those 10 on the other side of the break.
Yes. Okay.
So, but there's 10 principles that we think that there is no place. We think it's a unique idea because we don't know of a center that has implemented all 10 of these.
Yes. What makes us different is those 10 principles.
Yeah, when you put them all together. Right. But we've studied them. None of them are unique really in and of themselves. We have some twists on them, but we've seen them in action in other places. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're excited. So the bottom line is this. This is what you should get out of this little thing. Next year, 2020, we are going to start the process of putting in place a Lifework center, a career center, where 40 people or so will come and learn and grow in their career, and we'll continue to expand that. So we'll talk to you more about that as time goes on. But first, we've got to get to Ida's saying of the week. What do we call this? Do we call it saying of the week?
It's the saying of the week. It's a really catchy title.
So I have a new camera angle here, Ida. So let's see if it works. Hopefully this is gonna. Here we go.
Look at
Oh, there it is.
That is a nice camera angle. Doesn't take much to excite us, but it does look nice. Okay. Well, I typically have a reason for why I choose my saying of the week, and this week the reason is today is Universal Children's Day. So I was looking for one of my quotes that referred back to children. And so this week the quote is, "It's not our job to toughen our children up to face a cruel and heartless world. It's our job to raise children who will make the world a little less cruel and heartless." So children truly live what they learn. And our job is to instill kindness and love and beauty into those children and help them to make the world a little bit less cruel and a little bit less heartless. I think that's how we change it, one step at a time.
That's cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Thank you. That was fun. All right. Let's jump into our joke of the week. Everybody comes on the show really just to watch this part. All that other stuff has just been leading up to this. This is everyone's favorite part of the show right now.
You're delusional, but okay.
No, I've had people say, all that stuff, like those games that you play and all that. That's fun. Oh, you guys laughing. That's it's funny, but a little sometimes over the top,
but
a little
silly. But the joke
silly.
of the week
and the saying, it's nice.
It's okay,
nice to hear the saying.
Yeah.
But the joke of the week. Oh my gosh!
It's the pièce de résistance.
I use that joke at the water cooler the next day. It comes in handy in business meetings. I mean, I'm telling you, people
just asking. Do you look in the mirror when you're hearing that? Okay, but maybe somebody has told you that.
All right, this is Frank.
Yes.
I don't know Frank.
Frank's my dear friend. Frank Wargo's a high school friend of mine,
really?
Classmate. Yep.
All right. Well, Frank's joke of the week is not sponsored by Uniquely the Same. We certainly do not sponsor this joke. In fact, we distance ourselves from the jokes. If anyone is offended, take it out on Frank. It had nothing to do with us.
Poor Frank.
Frank doesn't even know he's doing the joke.
I know. I better call him and tell him he's doing the joke of the week.
Speaking of careers, Frank knew that we were talking about careers today, so he sent in this joke. I recently lost my job as a psychic.
Oh.
He lost his job as a psychic. I didn't even know did you know he was a psychic?
I had no idea.
No. That's right. He didn't see that coming. Which is probably why he lost his job as a psychic.
Because if he were a good psychic, he would have seen it coming.
That was a good one, Frank. Wow, that is water cooler stuff. I lost my job as a psychic.
I didn't see that one coming. My word. Okay. I think at some point we should have sort of a poll set up so we could rate these on a scale.
Oh, we could do it right in the moment, and we could find out how much everybody is enthralled by the jokes.
Like that, 1 to 5, some Likert scale that makes sense, and then we'll know if we could ever use that joke again in our lifetime.
Was Mary Lou indicating that John knew the joke? I think that's what she was saying. He said that because he saw it coming. He's psychic.
No, I think she was talking about let's see,
something earlier.
Yeah. And Ruth, thank you, Ruth. She says, "Oh my, oh my."
She thought it was funny. You only got her up for a second,
She has to. What did I do? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, you put 3 right in a row.
I'm sorry.
And they have a 12-second timer on them.
I put it back up.
So they go.
Because I wanted to have that for posterity. Oh my, oh my.
So that's the joke of the day. That's some fun today, huh? Um, and I think now it's just time for us to say goodbye to our YouTube viewers.
Already?
Those who are watching us on YouTube, we really are glad that you stopped by. But and there are some videos. There's over there some recommended videos, and also down below we've got some other things that you can look at. So you don't know where to point.
I never know where to point.
But anyway, thanks for stopping by. We wanted you to know I'm uniquely the same. You're uniquely the same. Together we could change the world. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for coming.